Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thought we'd do a little different style video today. Just go through the equipment we use on our small farm. Shouldn't be a real long video. We don't have a lot of equipment yet, but go through, show you what we have and what we use. All right, first tractor that we have purchased. This was well before we really had intentions of doing any farming. But we bought this Ford 961 Powermaster. It belonged to my wife's grandfather, and they were looking to downsize. They were selling off some equipment, cleaning out. So this was his baby. He'd restored it years ago, and he kind of wanted to see it stay in the family. So we purchased this from him. It's been a good tractor. Done a couple videos with it in it, doing hay. But there'll be more videos of this in the future. But it's been a good tractor. Need to do a little bit of work to it. The ignition, the old point system, probably gonna replace that with electronic ignition, but other than that, it's a good running tractor. It is propane, which is different for this area. Southwestern PA, you don't really see many propane tractors. It came from Central Illinois, where I guess years ago, propane tractors were a little more common. So it's pretty neat. It's a neat tractor to run. Like it a lot. We have a 6-foot Woods rotary cutter. That mainly we just use. I like to keep all the field edges clean. I like to keep mowed like around the perimeter of the hay fields, the other fields, the field my neighbor puts corn or soybeans in. It's like to keep the perimeter of everything mowed down, keep weeds from coming up. So that's generally what we use that for. I chop corn stalks with it at the end of the year just to clean the fields up, and then the hay fields, if I didn't get a last cutting off or if they're up a little bit, I usually cut them down once there's a couple good frosts. So that's mainly what we use that for, but it's been a good cutter. No issues with that. All right, the baler we use is a old New Holland 68. This, I believe, I'd have to go back and check, but I believe this is a mid-50s baler. Last winter, we did a good bit of work to it. Went through, did a lot of adjustments, made sure the knives were sharp, did a lot of adjustments on the plunger. It has old wood slide bearings on the plunger. They appear to be in good shape. I did not pull the plunger on this yet. We were able to get it within adjustment and get our knife clearances correct. We will probably, I checked them, they're still good. I'm gonna use it this summer at least, and then we'll check them again. I am almost out of adjustment, so the wood slides are wearing, but maybe next winter we'll pull the plunger and rebuild those slides. But this has been a pretty good baler, really, for its age and for what's gone into it. All right, let's have the light on my camera here. It's very tough to see. You can see the knife edge on the plunger itself back there, and then the stationary knife. And then if you look down below here, you can kind of see right in here one of the lower wood slides. So it's from what I've read, they're made from hard maple, but like I said, they're still in good shape. We can get our clearances we need, so we'll continue to use it this summer. We'll keep an eye on it and then rebuild them as necessary. For a hay cutter, we use a John Deere, can't remember the model number right off the top of my head, but it's a John Deere, it's a pull behind, not a 3-point, 7-foot sickle motor. It works well and also can be very frustrating. Anyone who uses a sickle motor knows they can be temperamental. I need to go through this yet this winter and make sure everything on the sickle bar, the knife sections, everything's in good shape. We did go through that last year prior to use, and it did help. I have that other video on the hydraulic cylinder I'm rebuilding. I need to get that finished up, just so I can be able to make sure I lift the sickle bar out of any cut hay. So as long as you keep it out of already cut hay, it seems to not jam. Speed is definitely very important. You don't want to go too slow, and you definitely don't want to go too fast, and it does cut nice. So it's really just a lot of getting used to it. But someday, if we continue and increase hay production, we'll probably upgrade this mower. But for now, this works pretty well. We also use an old New Holland crimper. Since we use a sickle mower, it doesn't have conditioning rollers on it like a hay bind or a disc bind would. So we follow the sickle mower with a crimper conditioner. This has been another machine that there's been a little bit of a learning curve. There were some bearings I did a video on that some bearings went out, and I was having a lot of issues with it jamming, with grass wrapping on the rolls, and it was getting rather frustrating. And then eventually I think the bearings were just starting to wear. I couldn't tell, I couldn't see the wear, but I think that was allowing the clearance between the rollers to be too great, and that was allowing the wrapping. So since I replaced those bearings, it's been running pretty well, so I'm hoping that continues. It was a hard decision whether to actually spend the money to replace the bearings. Really, for all the parts, it was probably more cost than what the crimper's worth or what you could sell it for. But the other alternative was to invest in a hay tedder right away, and to get a hay tedder would have been a decent amount more than what the bearings cost. So I'm trying to keep the costs low at this point. I'm trying not to spend a lot of money on equipment just till we get rolling, get our feet under us, get moving. So our hay rake is a John Deere 350. It is a 3-point hitch model and a PTO driven model. This has been a pretty reliable hay rake, and it's the same basic design that has been around for quite a while. Do have a replacement belt ready to go for it. That belt's been on there for a long time, and it shows quite a bit of wear. But other than that, replacing teeth, I need to go through and still replace probably half a dozen teeth from last year. They're just getting worn down. But yeah, so it's been a pretty simple, pretty reliable hay rake. The main tractor we use is the Kubota L5240. This is right about 45 PTO horsepower. So it's not a large tractor by any means, but it runs that small baler no problem at all. Everything we have here so far, I mean, it runs no problem. Eventually someday we get into round bales, probably looking to upgrade to a larger tractor. I'll keep this one around, but I'll look for an older larger tractor for a round baler. Really just because of the hills we have here, I don't know that this has enough weight to pull a round baler up and down some of the hills we have. But on the flat, I would probably run a round baler with this, just at least to try it out and see how it does. I know it'd be at the very bottom of the horsepower requirements, but yeah, this has been a very good tractor. It has right around 1,100 hours on it. I'll probably do a review just on this tractor specifically, going through from when we bought it to currently, but that'll be another video. And the last tractor, really, it's obviously not a farm tractor, but use this in quite a bit. The BX 2380. I mean, its main purpose in life is grass mowing and yard maintenance type work, but it really surprised me how much I use it for moving equipment around. It's obviously very small, so I can hook it up to the baler and move the baler, back things in, get things put away nice and tight. And it's also useful if I have one of the other tractors hooked up to a piece of equipment. I can grab this and move something around, prep something, get it ready for work. So I've actually used this tractor for a lot of things that I never thought I would. It's coming up on 500 hours. It's just a few hours away. We've had it about 4 years. So I'll probably do a review on this one also, just kind of going through since we bought it, what we think of it. But it's been a good little tractor. That's really the majority of our equipment. We do have a disc and a cultivator that are sitting outside right now. They're under some snow right now, but you've seen those in some videos earlier. But that covers all the equipment we have at this point. Most of what we have, the disc and the cultivator, I purchased last year, just really to get moving. Like I mentioned earlier, I don't want to spend a lot of money on equipment right now. I want to try and get some customers for the hay and then sweet corn, and get moving with that. I don't want to have a lot of money tied up in equipment, so I think we're in good shape with what we have. Most of it's old, and it's going to take some work, but that's just part of it. So that's a brief overview, just what we use on our small farm here. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions on anything, drop a comment below. Otherwise, though, if you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks.